ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 20, entitled Conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. Text number 38. Prahasya bhava gambiram Jigranti atmanah Kantya sasarja bhagavan Gandharva apsaram ganan Rahasya bhava gambiram Jigranti atmana Kantya sasraja bhagavan Gandharva apsarasam ganan Rahasya bhava gambiram Jigranti atmana Kantya sasarja bhagavan Gandharva apsarasam ganan. Prarasya bhava gambiram Jigranti atmana Kantaya sasarja bhagavan Gandharva apsarasam ganan. Word by word, kindly repeat. Prahasya, smiling, bhava gambiram, with a deep purpose. Jigrantiya, understanding. Atmanam, himself. Atmana, by himself. Kantaya, by his loveliness. Sasarja, created. Bhagavan, the worshipable Lord Brahma. Gandharva, the celestial musicians. Apsarasam, and of heavenly dancing girls. Ganan, the hosts of. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. With a laugh full of deep significance, the worshipable Brahma then evolved by his own loveliness, which seemed to enjoy itself by itself, the hosts of Gandharvas and Apsaras. purport. The musicians in the upper planetary system are called Gandharvas, and the dancing girls are called Apsaras. After being attacked by the demons and evolving a form of a beautiful woman in the twilight, Brahma next created Gandharvas and Apsaras. Music and dance employed in sense gratification are to be accepted as demonic. But at the same music and dancing, when employed in glorifying the Supreme Lord, as Kirtana or transcendental, and they bring about a life completely fit for spiritual enjoyment. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapatantikam Vandegam Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadodam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavali Pashyat Deshadarine Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pratayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Paditanam Vapanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nanda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'm happy to be among all of you, such exalted Vaishnavas, enthusiastic to hear the message of Bhagavatam. So I seek all the Vaishnavas' blessing. Even though I am not qualified, I was reading this wonderful pastime. But for the purification of myself, I will speak this. So I was thinking what to speak on this topic. There are three things I thought I can speak of. One is how Brahma took the shelter of Lord when he had difficulties, when his children were chasing. So then Lord told him to cast off his body. So that we can see little bit dwell into how the Mahajanas always depend on Krishna. Just before the class, Swayam Prakash Prabhu was explaining. So I told him to speak one day. The Vrajavasis mode, how completely dependent on Lord Krishna, how Mahajan, Prabhupada, he always dependent on Krishna. That we can dwell into a little bit. The second thing is that how this material world is so captivating. As soon as they born, these asuras were chasing like this woman, Twilight. We can dwell into that a little bit. The third one, the important one Prabhupada talks about today is that Sankirtana, glorifying transcendental. Any music is generally played is a demonic for this sense gratification, but it is completely fit for spiritual enjoyment. The same music is used in Lord's service. So these are the three topics which we will try to understand a little bit more. So the first one being how the Brahma he's been chased, and the Lord told him to how they surrender to a Supreme Personality of Godhead when there is a problem. So whenever there is obstacle, then we need to increase our sadhana or our increase surrender to the Lordships always. So this is the Maya helps us to surrender to Krishna, remember more. These problems or any obstacle which comes, we need to take it as a signal that yes, I need to progress in the Krishna conscious life. Krishna is reminding me to be more dependent on him. So slowly he would like a sculpture, we try to sculpture the marble. So there was two marbles talking like this in the temple. So there is a floor marble and the tile. So there is an altar deities also, like say Radha Krishna Vigraha, beautiful marble. So this marble I started asking that other marble. He came from the Swayam quarry. The same transport guy transported it. The same sculpture made it as the same guy constructed the building. But you've been worshipped. Look at me, people are stamping at me. Right? Why is the difference? Then the other marble started telling, no, you need to make yourself available for a lot of pain initially, because the sculpture would take a chisel and you would hit, will make a beautiful sculpture. But you didn't want to do that, you want to be just plain. So you just put it on the floor. So when this obstacle comes, we think that Krishna is trying to slowly, inch by inch, he will suddenly wouldn't give so much calamity, or he wouldn't give so much wealth so that you can handle it. You know what is that your capacity. And slowly Maya and Krishna try to make small problems, try to surrender to Krishna, so that we are molded like that, a beautiful statue. Later we become slowly we detach from this material world. So that's the purpose of Krishna testing us. We should take it as positive, because we have been sizzled now. Later we know that we are going to become a beautiful devotee surrendered to Krishna, going back to our eternal position. It takes a lot of time, because millions of births we have accumulated so much. So Krishna has to give little by little. Maya Devi also supports to make sure that we become a pure Vaishnava. So there is no negative thinking in terms of if something happens or some obstacle comes. So imagine the great sculpture is Srila Prabhupada. So he's written so much book, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. It has transformed millions of life. He knows how to transform the people. So if you remember, if you see Prabhupada Lilamrita, Prabhupada goes to the West. We all know this story. But what condition he goes, that is mind-boggling. His friends said, family said, don't go. And Srimati Moraji said, you will die. Prabhupada, you are old, you will die in Swamiji, you will die in America, don't go. And his God brothers, they said, no, don't go, you will not be succeed. There are so many people went previously, you will not be able to do at this age anything. So there is not even a single person who told Prabhupada, yes, you go. Nobody is told before going to Jaladhata, except his Guru Maharaj is always telling. But other than that, not a single soul told you have to go. Generally, we try to embark some project or journey. Everybody is telling, all the God brothers and family members don't go. What do? You don't go, right? But Prabhupada went. Second thing, he didn't add any money. At least we have money, we know that something we can do. He didn't add money. Okay. Does he know any friends there? No. Does he have any plans how to preach? Some strategy or something? No. At least we would, when we preach, we will talk to Prabhu, Swarnari Prabhu, we have this Bhagavad Gita course, how do we do it? Or we will put this website, we'll publicize Facebook and we get these people. We have some strategy, or we go to some places where we want to preach, new place, then we would ask any devotees there, where do I stay? You plan it, right? You don't just go there and say, whatever Krishna provides, I'll go and stay. So tomorrow you are going to Melkote Yatra. You just don't go like that, right? You call up somebody, you fix a prashadam, you fix a hall, you make some arrangement. Prabhupada didn't know anything because he didn't know. He didn't have anybody. This is another point. The third thing, the fourth or fifth point is that he's going to preach to the people where it's all demonic, they don't Vedic civilization. And especially this counterculture was happening, the hippie culture was happening that time. At least it's okay, you are going to I choose a place very safe to distribute books, like temple, malls and all, sometimes I avoid, but I safe bet is that some temple, even though it goes less, but I know I'm comfortable, I'm feeling very divine and things like that. But Prabhupada is going to a place where there is a counter culture happening. They are into drugs and other stuff. So definitely preaching, and these are the people who against all four regulative principles. They will break all four regulative principles every day. And their policy is that they should not listen to anybody is above 40 or 50. Their policy is that there are old people and we never should listen. And Prabhupada is in the 80s and 70s, he want to preach to the young people who are 60s, 20s, who are following this counterculture. And still Prabhupada could able to do it. Why this? Because Prabhupada was such a strong faith, the dependency on Lord Krishna. So Brahma did hear from the same thing, we can see that. So there was threatening, the people are trying to overpower him. This is son's own son, they just born. And Brahma ran to the Lord and for taking the shelter. Similarly, whenever there is an obstacle, anything comes, we to take shelter of Prabhupada. And interestingly, if you see that all these granthas, for example, Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter starts with Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna put into a problem, a illusion, or a kind of a dilemma, whether should I fight or not. So Srimad Bhagavatam also similarly, somebody is put into, in the beginning, this kind of situation. Who is he? Anybody? In Bhagavatam also we have such a scenario. Somebody is bewildered or somebody is also seeking. Vyasadeva, the own author of Bhagavatam. He doesn't know why I am not happy. He is despondent. So he asks Narada. So all this, the scriptures meant for us, it's not that they are in the illusion or they don't know. They put into such a situation so that we are in the same situation. We need to learn from these scriptures. In Ramayana also we see Bharat, he was put into that situation. How do I rule? What people will think? What kind of thing is that? Rama, I can't rule this. Please do something. He just said, I can't do this. Then Rama gave his foot, lotus foot, the shoes, and he told you at least you keep it, and he consoled Bharat. But he lived outside Ayodhya and still he did his duty. So much in any granthas we take, we see that there is a person put into some situation and we can learn lessons from them. That is the intention. And Bhagavatam is full of that only. Take Gajendra prayers. What else? We have Ambrish Maharaj. There are many, right? Prahlad Maharaj. He is put into such a situation. Even Pandavas, there are so many situations Pandavas put into. There are some impossible tasks Arjuna has to do, kill Jayadratha, for example, before the sunset. It's highly impossible. The dependency on the Lord is amazing. Draupadi, you just keep on quoting. This entire Bhagavatam is like that. The situation, the situation is same. Everybody is put into some danger, something or other. But how they react to the situation is what the lesson we have to learn. So the great personality like Brahma, how they take shelter of the Lord. So that should be our conviction, and we need to know that behind that Krishna is trying to sizzle us, or he is trying to mold us so that we become pure devotees. So don't afraid of any obstacle which comes. It is just to be taken happily that yes, this time also I am going to pass the test, or I want to pass the test. We take the test very seriously so that the final test, like internals, right? Sometimes you don't study well internals, there will be some marks. So these are kind of internals. If you pass it, then final exam also you are most likely to pass. So that's a message we can learn from this when Brahma gave off, he was taking shelter. The second point I was talking about, how this material life is so alluring, right? Especially the opposite sex. So, Prabhupada here talks about here, demons are evolving a form of a beautiful woman in the twilight. So, what was that? After being attacked by the demons and evolving a form of a beautiful woman in the twilight. So, this is the main topic I want to focus more. Then probably at the end we can glorify the Sankirtan, which any of you know. So look at the situation. As soon as they born, they were just kids. They were trying to chase after Brahma. So lusty. So then he casted off this twilight. Who is this twilight? So I don't want to go to the previous slokas. Probably would have gone through such like the demons are literally glorifying or praying. They're making a stuti about the Lord, various parts of the so graphically explained. So we are reading Bhagavatam. So why this we have to read, especially brahmacharis? You might think, what is that I have to learn? Don't learn the graphics, what it is mentioned, but learn what is that lesson, how material nature is so attractive, Maya, which is not. The illusory potency is so powerful that it can also anytime do that. For example, like so when Brahma, like when he casted off his body, the Lord, he did not cast off his physical body, he did not commit suicide, right? He gave up his subtle body. Similarly, death means for us, it's not just giving up a material body. The original liberation, or liberation means the death of our subtle body. The subtle body is the reason or causes for our attachment, bonding, saying that my family, it's my thing, everything is mine. All those things concentrated or based on this subtle body. So we need to see how to overcome this subtle body than this material body. So as Brahma casted off his subtle body so that he can have a new, fresh thinking, or he was disgusted himself about what is the creation going on, but he has to do as a service to Krishna, because there are a lot of living entity who was in the state who want to come back to the same state when the universe was created. But he just cast off that body as a twilight. The beauty of this is there is no woman. But these demonic people are thinking that this twilight is a woman. It's like our, mirage. People chase after mirage, but there is no water. If you are really thirsty, what happens is, then you would look for even mirage, you look big. But if let's say you are not thirsty, you are sitting in the AC hall, you had plenty of water, you don't even notice if there is a water sometime. If you are desperate, you are hungered, thirsty, then you look for something. So what happens is, as our attachment increases to particular material things, then it started, even though it is not there, you feel like it is there. So these demonics are so much attached to the sense gratification. They were thinking twilight is woman. Actually, there was no woman, and they were describing, explaining so many things, but it's just twilight. So what happens is, our attachment makes things more, or imagine, even Maya, we don't need to do anything. We imagine something, okay, it is there like that. And we started contemplating because we are so attached to it. And we start contemplating on those stuff. So this is, from this lesson, what we can learn is that how Maya is alluring. And, we need to overcome beyond this material conception. So I'll tell you one or two examples from this story, then you will understand better. There is one place when I was reading the previous verse. He was talking about, Prabhupada was talking about how these sons, they are all male, right? They are after Brahma, because Brahma is another male. So we can see in this Kali Yuga now degraded so much that it is legalized also. One time I've been asked to attend a meeting in the office. I said it's very important, must be. And then I attended. Then the first question they were asked is, do you know what is LGBTIQ? I said, I don't know what is LGBTIQ. In the form we filled the gender, male, female. We've added another 7 gender. I was shocked. What, 7 other genders? Yeah. So we are all educating you so that you can accommodate them whenever they join your group or team. So organization is like it's past legal. So we need to ensure that they provisioned everything as per rules and systems. So we are trying to explain you what are the things we brought for them. I said, first of all, you explain what is the other 7 gender. I never know. I know only male and female. Then they started explaining. A male is attracted to a male. A female can be attracted to a female. A male can be attracted to male or female or both, whatever it is. And there's a transgender. A person is born as a male, but he tending towards a female. He changes his attire, thinking, the hormones, everything changes. Or a person is born as a female, then he is trying to becoming a male. So what do they? Whom do they marry? You are born as a male, but you are feeling like a female. Do they marry to a male or female? They said both can be possible, and they can also marry to another transgender. Okay, it's too much. So what? It's a very complex system. I'm telling you, this is a very complex system. But this is not something. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai Lakshmi Narsingh Dev Gauranta Ki Jai. 9.1 Srimad Bhagavatam talks about that. So in this we can see a male attracted to another male. His sons were attracted to Brahma. Similarly, we see this changing of the gender is not something, it's not there in Bhagavatam, it is every day. What is that we're going to learn? I'll come to that later. But I just want to highlight you the 9.1. Let me open 9.1. Ila, Sudamna. This story of Sudamna, you know. So when Manus did not have son for a long time, before Ikshvaku is born, then Manu was praying to Vasishtha, please, I don't have son, to make some arrangement. I mean, they do yagya, putra kamishti yagya. So he wanted a son because he doesn't have a male hair. But his wife decided a female baby. So this yagya was going on. Then Vasishtha thought, okay, she's asking girl, let me make a girl. So she gave a girl. But Manu was bewildered when he got a baby girl. Vasishtha, I told you to, I wanted a boy. How can you make a girl who was named Ila? And Vasishtha said, sorry, this is what your wife wish. But if you want still my potency, I can change it to a male. So do so. He converted the girl into Sudamna, the boy. And he was ruling the king. We all know this story. He went to the forest where the Shiva and Parvati was there. That forest is always cursed. It has a curse. Anybody male enters, they'll become female. So he didn't know. He went there and he became his horses, his follow men, everybody became a female. Now what to do? And he got attracted to Buddha, the son of moon, and he became a son also. See, look at this. He's the king, he was ruling and he became a female. Now he got married to another man. Then Vasishtha was praying to Shiva. Then Shiva said he can be 1 month male, 1 month female. So his subjects, when the people were not happy because 1 month he's really king and can manage. Other month with a lot of dacoits, thief, because they know that king is a woman, he can't do anything. So they were just looting, and people were not happy with this arrangement. So it has to continue like that. Imagine, so there is another pastime also. There was a Sikandi in Mahabharata. He is also actually a female. He born as a female. He was never a male. We know this pastime of this 3 girls, Ambika, Ambalika, and other stuff. So when he was a girl, the parent thought, okay, we should not tell others, we will make him male only. Then they make him male, dress him like a male, he was like that. And when he was grown up, they married to a girl. So this girl is getting married to another girl. So secondly, I don't know what he needs to do. Then he went to, then he wants to become a male. So he went to pray to some Gandharvas or whatever in the forest. That guy was, there. Then he said, okay, I can exchange you for some time. You go and beget children, then you come back and we will exchange our sex. So he became a female to a male. Then he came back. By the time he said particular stipulated time, he has to come back. I don't remember the details, but what happened is somehow this Gandharva remained as a female only, and Sikandi became a male. That's why he went for the fight. But otherwise he was born as a female. Bhishma knows that. That's why he didn't fight it with her. So what happens is this bodily concept, what we are thinking, Bhagavatam clearly says it's beyond this gender. You can change. If you are attached to some woman or wife, especially, then you become next life as a woman. If a woman attached to a husband, then next life become husband. So this changing of the gender, it's more of a, we are not at the spiritual platform. The soul doesn't have this female, male gender, all these combinations. So once we come out of this platform bodily concept, from these lessons, what we can learn is that this Krishna can change the gender. These acharyas, they take the gopis, they take the acharya form, they come and preach. Depends on time, circumstances, they can accommodate, adjust to their changes, bodily, so-called the sex, whatever we call it as the gender, they can change it easily. So we need to understand that Prabhupada, yeah, all the time, right? You are not the soul, you are not the body. How many times, how many purports written? Sometimes I think why Prabhupada is writing it. We still act on the bodily platform, even though it stays here. It doesn't get into our actions, or it doesn't realize. He doesn't realize. So when we read this kind of stuff, we know that this interaction, infatuation is for the body. Under that there is nothing. Under the skin, if you see, it's blood, mucus, urine, urine, it's abominable activities, abominable things which is made of. This is just covering, one covering, then we are bewildered so much. So it's just changing of the, it's just changing of the skin color, and you just become bewildered. That's how Maya operates. So one time I was early stage of going to office. There was my office colleague, female colleague was there. So we both of us just walking after lunch or something. Then there was promoters of this shampoo. They want to promote their shampoo. It's a dandruff free or something like that. So they made a small microscopic pen kind of thing. Okay, they'll just keep it in your head or wherever. Then it will show all the dust and accumulated particles. Then they'll say, please use this. And I thought, okay, generally we are clean, and I thought this also, she is also from the Brahmin community, might be clean and things like that. So she said, well, first I want to go. She put all this pen and that camera and all the inside, so much disgusting stuff. And it's same for me as well. So I was wondering how the people exploit. When you put microscopic, even your hand, even it's clean, you'll just see so many germs around, blood, pus and urine, stool. This all the body is made of. Beauty stuff, right? And it's just that it's a covering. If you go on that level, then you realize it. Oh my God, changing of the gender, changing of the under this body, what it contains, and you really discussed about what is this all about, the other opposite. So from this we can lesson learned is that this Maya is alluring, even though it is not there. We think that it is there because of our attachment. Second thing is that this kind of example shows that changing of the gender based on our karma or attachment, we can just change it. There's nothing big deal about it. So the purpose is that we should take it seriously, this Krishna conscious, to overcome the bodily platform to the soul platform. So that's what I want to convey from this lesson. Let me check if there is. So again, as I mentioning, the liberation means we should come out of this subtle body, death to the subtle body, death to our false ego, which identifies ourselves with the body. Okay, the next one is also there is one more wonderful story. Now, the other thing why I said Prabhupada is return, like he is returned, we are not this body, we are the soul, but we still know this fact, but sometimes the situation makes you to break that, or you're not able to follow. One time there was argument between Jaimini, the disciple, and Vyasdev. Vyasdev said, Jaimini, you might know many things, it may be, you not understand what is right or wrong, but still you will not be able to follow. Jaimini started arguing, what you are talking? I know what is right and wrong. We have read all these Vedas, Vedanta Sutras. I know what is right and wrong. Why should I do sometime, why do I mistake if it is wrong? I never do wrong, And Vyasadeva, no. Even though you know right or wrong, but situation make you to forcefully act like when you can break that. Jaimini said, no way, forget it, I'll never do that. Then he said, okay, this is the rainy season, I want to go somewhere else, you take care of the ashram, and you are on your own, mind it, there is no association, be careful. He said, no, I know Vedas, you taught me everything, I know what is right or wrong, you don't worry, you take care, and I'll take care of myself. So this was going on. Then there was one day heavy rain was happening. Jaimini saw there was one lady, beautiful lady, was standing on the tree, drenched in the water. He said, oh, what happened, the girl? Then she said, no, I'm waiting for the water to come down because I need to go across the river, and the river is full of water, I can't go. He said, no problem, you can come to my ashram, you can change your cloth and dry clothes, and whenever the water subsides, tomorrow you can go. Okay, sir, Jaimini is a great sage, so she is calling. She said, okay, I will come. And he gave everything, they settled down, he gave a room, and she kind of changed her cloth and things like that. Then Jaimini, before going, he said, lock the door, even I come and call you again, you don't open the door. That's my instruction. He said, yeah, you told, I will never open the door. So after some time, this Jaimini started doing his puja and things like that. So the first problem with this, how to overcome this problem of this illusion is that it starts at the thinking level. So till that time he didn't ever had any such problem. Now once he started contemplating later, thinking about bodily features or thinking about that, so he's got attracted. Then he could not able to do his puja. So this is where we need to stop. The even great personalities, they have this problem, but what is the difference is that they stop at the thought process level. As soon as the thing comes, they curtail it that there itself. So when we able to stop the thinking at that level, then it will not, nothing will happen. But you start dwelling into it, it becomes action becomes a habit. So this guy was thinking about it during this, he was trying to recite mantras, but he was dwelling on that. Then he got attracted to that girl. So he went and knocked the door. She said, "Who is that?" She said, "Jaimini." "Okay, tell me what you want." No, kind of, you open the door. Said, "Why? You told not to open the door." No, I am ordering now, you open the door. Said, what is the reason?" "No, I just want to talk." "You can talk like this also, now also we are talking." No. Then she understood Jaimini is not in control, but she did not open, but he climbed the roof, broke open the roof, and she was jumping and chasing after her. She was running after that. Then finally he turns out to be Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva told, "I told you last time that you know what is right or wrong, but you're just acting like this madly. See that situation." So in association of the devotees, second thing, curtailing at the thinking process itself, these are the solutions generally we can apply it when we have uncontrolled senses. Even the Prabhupada talks about so many times, this body, we are not the body, we are not the soul, it remains on the platform. Unless we have been protected by the Vaishnavas, unless we stop making an effort to stop at the thinking level, that these are the two things which helps to overcome kind of this situation. So the third topic, what we want to cover is the glorification of Sankirtana movement. Then I would pass for any questions or comments. So there is one thing which came up to my mind is that the wonderful pastime of Bali Maharaj. In the Bali Maharaj episode, after everything has happened, Krishna, Vamanadev comes to glorify Sukracharya. So one might wonder why Sukracharya, he stopped in fact Bali Maharaj. Then Krishna came and saying that you are the great Vaishnava, Smarta Brahmana, head of all this and things like that. So then Sukracharya speaks this verse from 8 Canto 23 chapter 16. Mantrastas Desha Kala Vasutaha Sarvam Karoti Nischitram Anusankirtanam Tava. So he says, there I might pronounce the mantras wrongly, or I might do the tantras, the homa, whatever it is, there might be mistakes, but all of them can be completed only by doing Anusankirtana. So he says, by doing Sankirtana, I take your holy name, that's my secret. I always take your holy name. So most of the time people see ISKCON, sometimes the outsiders might comment, oh, it's not made of as per Vastu, where it is Gardastamba. So generally the South Indian temple, especially architecture, has three structure. One is the Sanctum Soam where the Lord is there. After that immediately there is one more place, and after that it's open for the big place for the devotees to take darshan and things like that. There is some Shastra, how you need to construct a temple. But Prabhupada, ensured everything for it's a birthday or it's a celebration or it's a death or it is any festival, any occasion, it is only Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra can complete. In fact, you might do everything perfectly, but it's not complete unless you have this Hare Krishna Mahamantra added to it. So Prabhupada here talks about this material music, it's a sense gratification, but the same thing is employed on devotional service, that is completely fit. So any activity we do in ISKCON, we've seen that it should be accompanied. Even in this sannyasa initiation, they were reciting something, but Prabhupada said, please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that is the dependency, because Prabhupada, when hippies also, when he was preaching, he made a schedule, half an hour to 45 minutes kirtan. Then he would do a brief speech, not too much dwell into that, with 30-40 minutes. After that again he would have a 1 hour kirtan. So slowly they know that Prabhupada, that they may not understand his language or they might understand this high philosophy. Sometimes initially as Prabhupada they would used to ask, do you know Krishna? They look at something, you don't know Krishna? Okay. Then Prabhupada would start, they don't know, they didn't know anything about it. Imagine anything Prabhupada trying to explain, it's very difficult, right? Or somebody doesn't know anything. So Prabhupada used to do a lot of kirtan. So he knew that this can transform, because they would tell him, he would tell him, don't take drugs and things like that. But Prabhupada, now he said only the magic can work is this kirtan. And they said, we are getting high. Really, they were feeling, really they are going in high. So the devotee said, Prabhupada, we are feeling ecstasy on this, we are going high like LSD. He said, yes, you can stay forever. You don't need to come down. So then that's the way they promoted also. They printed small pamphlets and they were started distributing, stay high forever. And because they were really getting it, it's not that just they just did it, but when they involved in the Sankirtan, they could be able to transform such a wonderful, devotees later point of time. So we know that this Kirtan can only save us from all these calamities, and it is complete, and we just do the Kirtan. That's more satisfying. So I would stop here for more comments or questions or any corrections. Correction.
Telling about the LGBT, this training and all this is happening in all of this.
Yeah, it is official now.
They train how to deal with those people. Then.
Yeah. So when I write a mail, what should I address? He, she. You said they. Okay. I can't ask about their. I need to say they will be coming. Like that. How to address them? How to be sensitive towards things like that. So they gave a lot of instruction on when I speak in the meeting, how do I address the public meeting, or when I talk to them, when other people are there, how do I address them? Should I talk about their marriage or things like that? And all those stuff. Very complicated. I never understood, and I don't think so I will be understanding it. But one thing I understand, yes, we have everything in our scriptures for us to learn, and but slowly, yes, this is catching up in all the corporate world, and supposedly some kind of people are really intelligent in those group, one of the group. So anyway, it is legal, so they have to adopt it.
This is being pushed by the foreign.
See, it's not that we should not blame one sense, because psychologically the hormone and the psychological nature is bringing towards that. There's nothing wrong. There maybe is born as a male, but your hormones, everything is trying to work that way. What is that you can do against nature? So that's kind of a medical problem or medical issue. You can't just blame them. So it's also kind of, we need to understand from their perspective. Imagine like 1 month male, 1 month female, Sudamna. What you would have undergone, I really don't know. It's very difficult if you change your gender 1 month, one thing, right? Similarly, they are going through, when they born, they thought this is something like that. Even doctors may not know. After when he grows, he will identify himself as a male or female. They don't know. Some of them are neutral, we don't know. So this, we need to accommodate them. We need to be empathy towards them, because I don't know, for various reasons their karma, they're becoming a dual personality. So that's why it's legalized, and the world is moving towards that. I don't know what will happen, because it's mind-boggling to even think of what kind of system we are where we are heading towards.
Such people are existing. In the past also they were there, like even Arjuna became Brahmana.
Arjuna became. Secondly,
the problem is it being legalized and glamorized. High Court also, Supreme Court also.
yeah, they made it.
Disturb the social structure.
Yeah, but we need to think that, we can go beyond this. We need to take this opportunity. We can go beyond this bodily concept. It's just it's a change in the hormones. Suddenly tomorrow you can become a female. Then better surrender to Krishna. We never know, right? Anything can go wrong in our body. That's why some Matajis really have male qualities, managing capabilities, because previously they would have been in that form. Some Prabhus are really like soft and they would like to do feminine qualities. That's because we can understand from this past karma, past vasana, how they are behaving it. So changing gender is just a skin. Under that, there's a lot of ugly stuff we are covered with. So when we remember that, then easily we can overcome this attraction to this opposite gender.
We can use this point in device force. We are not the soul.
So how to go? The Bhagavatam talks about various example it gives. It's not that there is nothing outside Bhagavatam. You don't need to even. This not surprises because we will immediately connect to this 9.1. Okay, I know this. What you are talking, or I know this example because we are trying to be in the soul platform. Even easily it's said you can speak in Vyasas and you can talk about it. I have so much struggle coming out of this bodily concept. It's very, very difficult. But what happens with association and slowly reading this, hearing this, probably one might attempt to come to that level. So this instead of going into the details of how the demonic are glorifying, then we can understand this is much better in this way. So
You were talking about shelter. So how do we know we have taken sufficient shelter as a practice in sadhana?
if you're not failing the test, you're taken shelter. If you're failing, you're not taking the shelter. Did you fail in the exam? Hence we are not sufficiently taken shelter. So this small test, monthly test, what they do, what is that? What they call? Term test. I don't know. What my son talks about something. So they do a small test, right, before the final exam. So small test, Maya and Krishna try to check whether you are able to take the final test or not. So if you fail in the test, you are not sufficiently surrendered. So you have to take more surrender. If you are passing the test, there is some more. Does that make sense?
And in your classes, Zoom classes, how do you manage kirtan? Because one way it is possible. You cannot hear them or make them chant. So only one way kirtan is possible. Because even if you make them, then there is a lag in the Zoom. So to make
Yeah.
them is difficult.
I sometimes switch over to japa mode, group japa. So that way I can see their chanting. Sometimes kirtan is difficult during, especially Zoom. It doesn't work out. Unless you have a team there sitting, they can sing. Probably we can hope that they are also singing, but you can't make it two-way. That's difficult. But japa you can make it two-way. So you chant, ask them to chant, so they also you can hear them what they're chanting. So that will not.
Many are there. We cannot make everybody unmute.
Yeah, but I've seen one Mataji forum. They do this during this Kartik month. They were doing it. All of them are on their voice, audio. They are all chanting.
Slow voice.
They just chant on the normal voice. Whoever hears it. But they opened all the lines and all of them are chanting like that. But when I did it, I used to put Prabhupada chanting. Then mute others. Only Prabhupada was chanting and we are all chanting together. But I wouldn't know if they're chanting or not. But this best thing is if you unmute all of them, ask them to chant together, then there might be some success.
And if some 10, 15 are there and if all they chant together, then
Nothing.
no problem.
No problem. But Kirtan, there is a lag. Beat will go wrong. Repetition. The singing person wouldn't know next line to start, when to start. And he would lose his rhythm. But in chanting, it's okay. Here and there it goes. Still, you would catch up. That works, I've seen. Most of the time, we make them chant. Also, you need to have at least one Mridanga player, one Kartal player. So, due to lack of all those, also, you can do this japa mode. You can ask them to chant. Most of our session, one round we chant before beginning. So, we make them chant one round. So, that way we know that holy name is chanted. That's one thing. Any other questions, comments or corrections? If not, I'd like to stop here. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhu, can you help me with this?
Hare Krishna.